digging in the crates for something good. Hidden gems often misunderstood. 'Cause you know there's no such thing as too much. Miscellaneous important stuff.
Welcome back to the show. This week, my friend Keegan was here. Keegan was also on episode 13 where we talked about dreams, so check that episode out too. But this week, we talked about awkwardness, what it means to feel awkward, why we feel awkward, just sort of a general discussion about awkwardness. And we did our best to have that discussion in a normal way. It was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it too. Here it is. Be weird. Okay.
That's easy for me.
Timer. Recording. Okay.
This looks good.
Bring it in.
Bring it in.
Closer.
Right there.
It should feel like you're eating it.
I hope that picked it up. What?
Good to have you here.
Yeah. See, this is the goofy awkward. This isn't the painful awkward of just you say something and the other person says uh-huh, and then there's just 10 seconds of just silence.
We can make that happen.
I'd rather not. God, I hate that. I'll use that. Don't do. I'm gonna keep talking so you don't have the opportunity to do it.
Do you want to talk about why we decided to do this episode?
Yeah, because we shared an awkward moment, I think immediately after a podcast, or at least maybe a couple of minutes after a podcast.
Yeah. Do you remember the full story?
I think I was drinking, which is always a good fuel for
having those Cayman Jacks.
Yeah, those are good.
Tasty, a little too tasty.
A little too tasty. And you wanted to pick up a pizza and it was getting late. And you were afraid the pizza place was going to close. And I think you have a ritual.
Yeah, I've sort of made it a thing to... It used to be just on Fridays. Now it's sort of Friday, Saturday. I like to get pizza.
Yeah. Which I think it's good. And it makes sense to me. You don't... if you have a routine, you don't like to break the routine.
Yeah.
And I think I was just hey, let's I'll hang out.
You thought we were eating pizza together.
I didn't think I was going to have any of your pizza. I thought I was just going to sit there and watch you eat pizza.
Which is fine. No, if I
which is more awkward.
If I was going to go get pizza and you were staying, I would have given you pizza.
No.
Yes, I would have.
No, I'm not saying you wouldn't have. I'm just saying I would have rejected it.
Oh, I would have forced you to eat it. That also would have been awkward.
Anyway, so we were just standing there for a minute, and I think I was trying to figure out do I need to leave?
Yeah, and I didn't make it clear.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to place blame on you. So,
no, but I didn't. I think I had it in my head that I was
oh yeah, we're done, and
we got this figured out. All right.
And it was just it was so painfully awkward. I was okay, well, I'll go. And you're you can. Well, do you need to? I'm no, it's fine.
You're you don't have to go. And you're no, I'll go. I feel like I should go. And I'm well, you don't have to go.
Right. You didn't want to be. You didn't want to be get out.
Yeah.
But I was just I should probably go because truthfully, probably should have.
I don't know. I think you are right to expect whatever you expected because I didn't say any other night I probably would have just hung out forever.
I think that's the thing. Okay, and we texted each other a little bit afterwards, hey, sorry that got awkward.
Yeah,
and then I think we came to the conclusion that we're just both kind of awkward in general.
Yeah, we're terrible people.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh, I thought they were the same thing. Never mind.
No, it's not. I think roll the dice and you're gonna have an awkward moment. Like,
Yeah.
you never know, and it just happens. And sometimes you just got to roll with it. And I think we rolled with it, and we decided to do a podcast of how awkwardness is.
Well, because we recognize it. So then, like, after that, who cares, really?
Right. Absolutely.
It wasn't anything hurtful awkward.
Right.
Like, oh, I thought, like, being in a relationship, I thought we were breaking up. I thought that was...
Was that
you
not
didn't...
clear?
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're going to have to leave.
Yeah. You gotta go.
Oh, I thought we were getting married. No. I thought we were breaking up.
I haven't had that. Have you had that experience?
No.
Like, oh, okay.
That'd be
I was gonna
interesting,
say
though.
that, like, I'm awkward with women in general, but
Why, though? Well, let me go back.
Okay.
Because let me read the definition of awkward, which I don't think really tells us much, but it says causing or feeling embarrassment or inconvenience. Which I'm like, I don't really think that sums up awkward.
kind of.
I mean, a little bit, but from what
I felt kind of embarrassed, and I felt like I was inconveniencing you.
but I don't think that says what it is. I don't feel like it does a very good job of defining it. It just says what the feelings associated with awkward.
Okay.
Like embarrassment, sure, that goes along with feeling awkward, but
Yeah.
it doesn't really say how we got to that point. And
Well,
I
that's-
was
like that awkward comedy, like that the reason why it's funny is because the person who is being awkward is embarrassed, and we find that funny.
yeah.
So I don't know.
But what are you saying? That's
I
mean, I agree that that's funny,
I
but-
think that that's a valid definition, but you go ahead and you explain.
okay. I mean, I think embarrassment comes with the feeling of awkwardness, but I also read an article that I thought summed it up even better, or tells us how we get to those moments.
Yeah.
And this is from Bethany Teachman. I'm assuming I'm saying that right. A professor in the University of Virginia's Department of Psychology. And she said, awkward situations can be boiled down to an incongruence between what's happening and what you think should happen, or between what two people think should happen. The awkwardness is likely fueled in part by your perception of how it's supposed to go and what's actually happening, rather than an actual problem.
That makes a crazy amount of sense to me.
So it's just like
Yeah.
expectation versus reality.
Right.
Like if things went the way you thought they would be fine. It's being surprised by a moment and not knowing how to
Yeah.
handle it.
Oh yeah, that actually does hit the nail on the head.
Bam!
Yeah. Good job, Jay.
Although I didn't say it, I just read it, but I think
from the
says it.
Teachman.
Yeah. That seems like it should be the definition.
Yeah.
Or one of them. Because when I think of all my awkward moments, that's what it is. It's a situation I wasn't expecting. I didn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense to me.
So then that takes us back to women.
Back to women. What was the question about women?
You just said you're awkward with women, and I'm wondering if what I read there sort of applies.
Yeah. I mean, 'cause, like, you always kind of imagine like how it will go in your head.
Yeah. You're a suave dude.
Yeah. And nothing could be further from the truth.
No, that's reality. That's what I'm saying about you right now.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. No. Yeah, like I like, you know, I guess everybody's afraid of rejection. So like that like the fear of awkwardness, I guess, prevents guys or women or anybody to like from approaching somebody of the opposite sex or the same sex who, yeah, a person of interest, and say like, you know, like, hey, I like you, would you like to go out sometime? Don't say it like that, because that's pretty blunt, and
I don't know. Maybe that'll work for you.
maybe Hasn't yet.
It depends on how you say it. If you go, hey, I like you.
I think you're pretty cool.
You want, is that like an old Western movie accent?
John Wayne.
I think
And that's
you're
why
pretty
I can't
cool.
talk to women. because I channel John Wayne for some weird reason.
Well, some women love John Wayne, though.
I don't know.
Maybe not now. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, where were you going with that?
Let's see.
I got lost in John Wayne.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like you're just afraid of rejection, and that's
Yes.
like, the main reason you don't want to approach somebody is because with rejection comes awkwardness.
Yeah, but you end up just shooting yourself in your own foot because by not doing it, you make it worse.
That's true. That is true.
And I think we're all bad at it in some ways. There's always situations that you could
Not
face.
You, Jay, you're a stud.
No, I mean in general though, like, even if I was like really good at that, everyone has situations that they feel awkward in,
Yeah.
and you want to avoid them. And maybe some days you win that battle and you put yourself in that situation. Some days you don't. But if you avoid it all the time,
Yeah.
you just get more and more fearful, and it eventually is this thing that you can't deal with.
Okay.
That's how I see it, because
Yeah.
I think I used to be more socially awkward or shy or just unable to talk to people I didn't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
But the only way I got over that was to like I put myself in situations that I hated.
You gotta get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am all about the idea of being comfortable, being uncomfortable.
So you're comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah. That you almost seek out situations that you know will make you uncomfortable, but you know that it'll be helpful.
Yeah, it'll make you better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Picking up like social cues and
Yeah. Knowing that you're going to go into it and you're probably going to be uncomfortable, and just say, well, that's going to be my night.
Yeah, and I think that's the best way to like approach, like say approaching somebody and asking them like, hey, would you like to go out sometime? Know full well that you do not know what the answer is going to be,
Yeah.
and just don't be sad that the answer was no thank you, or just a straight up no.
Yeah, if you go into it knowing that it might not go well, then it doesn't hurt as bad when somebody
Yeah.
tells you to go away.
Yeah, and like it's not like that's the only person in the world, so it's not gonna like. Yeah, it might sting a little bit, but ultimately, there are other fish in the sea.
Oh,
Ugh.
wow, that was a beautiful line. I've heard it before, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just like I was fishing for another term.
Stop saying fish. You stop it right now.
But anyway, no, I think that's kind of how I see it. But like right now, I'm not really looking for anything, so I haven't really had the experience lately.
Well, any ladies out there looking for someone named Keegan, who's a stud?
Keep going.
Apparently super awkward with women.
That's
if you're
true.
into that, some people are. He's a writer.
Oh, there we go.
Is that a bad thing to say?
No, like I was just everybody's super awkward.
Were you waiting for the compliments?
Well, no, it's just I was thinking like I think in my mind I was like, that seems like a line. Oh, I'm super awkward with. Like I'm like really shy around women. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. Like this, then you're like, he's a writer. And I'm like, yeah, that's just like, he's that weird, awkward writer guy
Sitting in the corner.
Yeah, like I'm just working on my masterpiece.
He's wearing a fedora right now.
Oh God,
with sunglasses, and a blazer.
That works. If it was just like a fedora, then that would probably be bad. I don't have a beard either, so.
Well, but you have some.
I have a stubble.
Yeah, you have a little stubble.
But I'm gonna have to shave it.
Why? For work?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm a security guard.
He's a security guard?
Oh no. I think we're going into like just drivel just to see how awkward we can get.
I love painting the picture since nobody can see it still, which I'm working on. I say that. I actually am working on it. I'm going to have video for this eventually, which will make it more awkward.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll make me get used to another thing.
Are you gonna have like a screen that I can like see myself, and I'm gonna be like,
I think that's
God, I
a
look
terrible
fat."
idea. I don't want to see myself on the screen.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't really like listening back to the podcast to hear my voice. It's gotten easier,
Yeah.
but boy, is it uncomfortable.
What is with that? Like, just nobody likes hearing themselves like played back, like via like a video or audio or anything like that.
Because what you hear is not how you sound.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's almost great to just listen to your voice all the time,
Mm-hmm.
played back, because then you're like, oh, that's how I actually sound. Like right now, I'm like, whew, I sound like a normal person.
You do.
Yeah, to you, I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I hear this later, I'm going to start crying. No, I won't go that far.
That's how I feel.
You start crying when you hear your voice?
No, I just like I put my head in my hands and just like, oh my God,
Yeah.
it's the worst.
And realize life is nothing like you wanted it to be.
Yeah, it never is. That's why you got to go in with low expectations
Yes.
so you don't have an awkward moment. See, brought it back.
I think it's just about riding the roller coaster. I think I said that in the last episode.
It wasn't with me, right? It was with somebody else.
No, somebody else. I recorded yesterday too.
Okay. I feel special.
Hey, listen, I'm just trying to have the conversations here frequently. No, but knowing that you're never going to get to a place where you're just always good.
You're right.
Like there's just highs and lows, and just like being okay with the lows and the highs.
Yeah, that's how I think. If people like had that mindset, like it's not just like a constantly like you're ascending, going up on an upward trajectory.
Yeah, just always getting better and better.
It's ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. But like, yeah.
And maybe like overall you're getting like better and better.
You are, but like it's like little setbacks.
Yeah.
But like you're not as bad as you were 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Or
maybe the lows aren't as low.
Yeah.
Or not as frequent.
Or maybe you're just not letting them get to you as much as they used to. So
because you've seen more bad things, you've dealt with more bad things. So, you know, each new awkward moment, you're like, well, that was awkward. And then you just move right on. You're like, I got stuff to do.
Yeah.
Because that's how it feels sometimes. I don't really have time to deal with this.
Yeah. Tune in a couple of weeks from now after we've finished this podcast and we have another awkward moment.
Right after we stop recording, like, all right, I think we got to figure it out.
All right.
Never mind.
Let's keep this party going, right, Jay?
I gotta go to bed. Oh, so we're going to bed together.
So I sleep on the couch, right?
Yeah.
Or in your little tiny love seats?
No, these love seats fold out into beds.
Why would you tell me that? Now I'm staying.
It's gonna get real awkward. But staying on that women subject.
Yeah.
I was thinking about awkward moments before you came, and I haven't told the story in a long time. But the first time I ever met someone online, or met someone online in person, it was on OkCupid, and you know I'm like Googling how do I do this. It's still like at that time I think it was still sort of new, at least for me.
Right.
Like how do you make that transition? It's weird. Online dating.
From like real life dating to online dating? Is that...
No, online dating, like messaging somebody and then like, we're gonna meet in person.
Okay.
It's like that. The whole concept of it was awkward just thinking about it.
Right.
So I was trying to figure that out. But anyway, I eventually like got up the courage to like, hey, you want to meet in person? Like it just, the whole thing felt like such a big deal to me because I'd never done it before. And set up a time for coffee. Went for coffee. I'm like so nervous, like never done this before. I'm like, oh my God, what if she thinks I'm stupid? I mean, what if she looks different? What are we going to talk about? What if we have nothing to talk about? I'm like going through all these questions in my head. Go in, she's there. And I'm like trying to walk in with confidence. Like, yeah, here we go. Here we go. About to rock her world. And I go in and she stands up and I'm like, there's like sort of a table in the way and I'm like like going in.
Oh, no.
And there's no hug. It's like I think she was thinking there was gonna be a hug, and then like I shake her hand. And, and as I was doing it, I knew it was like the wrong move, but I was like, I don't know, am I allowed to hug her? I'm awkward. So
Right.
then we talked and it was fine. Had coffee and I gave her a Christian side hug goodbye, and I was like, that makes me feel a little bit better. But I just remember being so angry afterwards because I had a higher expectation of myself
Right.
in my head. And then going in and like, oh, hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And anyway, so now I have like a very strict policy that there's every date starts with a hug.
Hey.
Not like forced hugs, but like
No, like going in for a hug, and if it's just test the waters.
Like you can tell somebody's like, I don't want to be hugged, but I feel like
they're meeting you for a date. A hug seems fine.
yeah, but there are people that are
That's
like,
true. They aren't huggers.
it's like if they reach their hand out, I'm like, I'm not going to say, nah, get that thing out of here. Give me a hug.
slap it away.
Yeah, get out of here.
Was
But yeah, most of the time people are like good with a hug.
right. Yeah.
I was just so scared of like doing the wrong thing that you end up doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So it was awkward.
Yeah. I make it a policy. Like there's a girl, and I'm not gonna say names.
You could say first names. Okay, don't. Wait, make up a name. Let's have a name. Let's call her Blossom.
Blossom. No, it's not. This girl I know. Who's
Cherry.
not Blossom.
Diamond.
Who Cherry Blossom. Who Diamond? Why are all these like stripper names, Jay?
Crystal.
But like I'm not like romantically like, like I mean, she's cute, but I'm not like, I wish she would notice me. No, like but like we knew each other like a little bit. We like met like 3 times like on like jobs and stuff like that.
Like films.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone knows Keegan's in the industry.
Oh boy.
He's worked on some films. He's written some films. He's edited some films. You've got a web series.
I do have a web series.
What is it called?
It's called Living Hell.
Living Hell. It's
Yeah.
great. He plays both characters,
Yes.
writes it, shoots it, edits it, and gets all the ladies from it. So all the fans. Anyway, go ahead.
No,
sorry.
like just like I make it like I don't go in for hugs like for like people I kind of know, but like I like she like I think I was like leaving one like earlier than everybody else, and she was like, oh, come here, and like gave me a hug, and I was like, okay, yeah, so I'll accept a hug like that. But that was the gist of that story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See, that's hugs are weird
hugs are weird.
because they're like, where do you cross the handshake zone into a hug zone?
I see. I just let the other person decide.
It's easier. I'm like all for a hug all the time.
Our mutual friend Jason Quinn.
Shout out Snake, who won't hear this because he's not caught up and he might never get caught up.
Yeah.
But if you do, just let us know that you got caught up. Are you just breathing into the mic?
It was just like slowly like leaning in, trying to think of something to say, but I couldn't. Hey, awkward moment.
Hey, I love it.
But yeah, no, Jason's not a hugger at all.
Yeah.
Like I am definitely a hugger, and we've been friends, like me and Jason, for geez, like going on 10 years.
Yeah, because I'm definitely at 10 years.
Yeah. So yeah. And I don't really hug him. I think I hugged him at least twice. And I think one was early on. And then like he kind of let me know like I'm not a hugger. Nah.
See, knowing that now, I like to push boundaries.
Yeah, just give
Rub his arm a little bit, tap his back.
Well, I think he's okay with that because he likes like goofy stuff, like like Tim and Eric and
Yeah, but you could ease into it until he doesn't even know he's having a sincere hug.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, damn it. Ah, you got me.
because he's not all about that. Like it's not about feeling.
I don't care about no feelings.
Yeah, he's
Back in Parkersburg, we didn't have feelings.
You guys think I'm bad? Back in Parkersburg.
Oh,
Okay, I hope he hears this.
I do too. Let us know
Yeah.
when you hear this, Jason. And anybody else who knows Jason, don't tell him that you heard this.
Yeah. Just
Keep it quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is interesting because, like I was saying with dates, very clear for me. It's like hug, acceptable.
right.
But think of all the different social situations you're in. Say if it's a group, maybe you're a hugger with one person.
Right.
But what do you do with the rest? You give one a hug, or the rest jealous? Do you need to give everyone a hug?
Oh.
Sometimes you give the girls a hug, but you give guys a handshake. But some guys like hugs.
Yeah. And some girls don't like hugs.
And maybe that's overthinking it, but it's very easy to go there.
You just gotta pick up on cues.
Yeah.
I guess. Like, and that's like kind of hard.
Sure. It gets easier when you know people better, but yeah, it doesn't help when you overthink it either.
Right.
Because you could just do whatever feels right in the moment. You go, just give a hug.
Yeah.
But then you go, but what if they don't want it?
Yeah.
What if it's awkward? What if they tell me they don't like hugs?
I mean, but if it's the first time you're meeting somebody, then
No, that's fine.
yeah.
I'm just thinking
I
day to day.
think it's worse if like you find out they don't like it, but you keep doing it. You know?
Well, yeah, of course. That's weird.
I'm gonna make them like hugs.
Yeah. That gets real rapey.
Oh my god!
In a
Did not intend for that.
well, it's a rapey vibe.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing. But you know, we're like, they don't like hugs, but they're gonna get a hug. I mean, that's not
awkward.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just explaining what you were just saying.
No, you're absolutely right. So now I feel awkward.
But maybe I just did a terrible job of explaining it.
Maybe.
I don't,
Or maybe not. Maybe I just shouldn't have said it.
I don't encourage forced hugs or forced interactions of any kind.
Forced anything is probably not good. So
I think forced vegetable eating is good.
force feeding, I don't think is good, Jay.
I didn't say how I was going to do it. Like I didn't.
Are you gonna like?
Well,
Yeah. How do you force somebody to eat something?
that's a good question.
Yeah.
You shove it down their, in their
Yeah.
mouth.
That's kind of rapey.
Depends on what it is. If I'm forcing some broccoli in your mouth, is that rapey? I feel like we should stop saying
Yeah, we should
rapey.
probably stop. This is getting awkward.
God, it's awkward. Do you have like a favorite awkward story? I told one of mine, so
I don't have a favorite awkward story because none of them are my favorite.
when I say favorite, I mean like the worst moment in your life.
Whoa. Okay.
Well, it doesn't have to be, but you know, the worse the better, really, for me.
Ah, man. But like
For the show.
I think by the nature of like how they make me feel, I tend to like suppress them. So like nothing
So
really
you don't
like
even know what they were.
so nothing like really comes to like the surface because I'm like, nope, keep that down because I never want to feel that again. So no, I don't have any truly like wonderful awkward stories.
I got a good social one
Okay.
that I was forced into.
Oh no.
So it was I was applying for, I guess, my first real job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had worked at OCCC college, community college for years and done some freelance stuff and worked in a warehouse and all that.
Yeah.
But this is like a corporate job. This is where, and you know of it. I won't say the name, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But this is 2011. There we were, 2011. Applied for this job. It was for video. They wanted me to do like video and design and web stuff, and it was like something I fit into really well. But I had done 2 interviews already,
Right.
and I was like, man, this is a big deal. They emailed me and they want me to come back again. I'm like, geez,
For a
this is
third
like
interview?
a process. Yeah, but it was really like they wanted me to come and see this networking event that they had as part of a competition that they host. So it was at this conference center, and it was just students and faculty people and business people mingling, drinking, fine. But I was terrified because I went there, met the guy who was going to be my boss, and then he was like, "Yes, this is what's going on here. Just walk around, meet some people." And then he went off. He left.
No,
He left me there.
He left me.
He was still there, but he was like off drinking somewhere. I don't know. He got drunk at events sometimes. Which was, I don't know, it's fine. But
That's fine.
that was so scary and awkward because like I don't know how to, or at least then didn't know how to do that. How do you network? How do you start a conversation with these random people in this room? I don't even know what is expected of me. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know who these people are. So I just sort of did laps. You know, I guess that's a good way to start. You get a drink and you do laps. You just walk through and then you find someone who's standing by themselves and you say, hey.
Hey.
And hope they respond.
Right.
And I got through it and I felt good about it. But man, that was something that I never would have just gone to.
Oh, so this awkward story ends like on a positive note.
I think they all do in a way because I feel like now looking back, I get something from those that I learned something that it got a little bit easier. I feel like I can do those things now. I was sort of forced into it.
That seems like a healthy way of looking at things.
Well, yeah, it was uncomfortable, but I did go through and talk to those people because I'm like, what else am I going to do? Am I going to leave? This is like an interview in a way.
That's kind of what I would have done.
See, that's why I can't
guess
do
I'm
that.
walking out.
It was like this huge opportunity. And I'm like, what's the worst that could happen? I was forced into like facing it and just saying, I'm going to go talk to these people.
And maybe the guy who forced you into it, maybe he was like watching you the entire time. Like, how's he deal?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it was still awkward. Like I talked to some people and then I'm like, is it over yet? And then it wasn't over. And then I ran out of people to talk to. And the people I did talk to, I feel like I probably talked to them too long. So I'm like, person. I can just stay in this conversation for the next hour or whatever, however long I can. And I remember talking to one guy, and I think I could tell he was done because he's like, "Hey, have you seen this food over here? You want to get some food?
Go on, get some food."
But like, I just didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah,
but I feel good about it. It's just, and some of those people I'm still friends with today that I
do they reminisce about? Night. Remember that time I met you and you were like...
awkward? Yeah,
really awkward.
No, because that's the other thing. I think what we think of as awkward, other people aren't perceiving it the same way. And in the situation, they're too worried about what they're saying and what's going on around them. They're not looking at you saying, God, he's awkward. Sometimes, I mean, we've all seen people who are like very clearly
awkward.
Very, very awkward.
Yeah.
But I don't think I was at that level. I knew how to have a conversation. That room was new to me.
Yeah.
So.
That makes sense.
All right. What do you got for me? What do you got?
What do you mean? Like,
come on. Give me a story. I wish come on. You got a story. We have 8 minutes. I know you got a story in you. It can't just be the one that we shared.
What? The one that we shared
that one night? No, I mean,
that awkward moment. The one that I like. If I hadn't like suggested we do a podcast about it, that I would have like buried deep within myself because I feel like it's my fault.
Yeah,
like I can't think of a moment where anybody's ever like thrusted me into an awkward situation.
But tell me another one where you just found yourself in it and you're like, how did I get here?
Oh, geez, Jay.
Bring it back.
I'm trying to rack my brain.
This is therapy.
Yay.
Welcome. I just tricked you into going to
this is stressful.
therapy session. Where did it all begin? Who are you?
I don't know. Like,
do you want to lay down?
I can think of like moments when I was just like a little kid and like I had like little like puppy love kind of crushes on girls, and like those are ones that stick out in my mind because I'm like, yeah, well, I was a kid though. Like it's nothing like crazy that happened or
it doesn't have to be crazy.
I know, but like
bring that mic in a little bit closer.
No,
you stopped eating it.
I'm trying to make this more awkward.
Okay.
People have to lean in and listen. Nah, Jay,
okay, answer me this.
Okay.
Have you ever gone to a movie?
Mm-hmm.
You'll get some popcorn.
Right.
You pay them. They give you the receipt. And then they're like, enjoy your movie. And you say, you too.
I have done that. But then I play it off and they love it.
Well, how do you play it off?
Like, it's just like, enjoy your movie, you too. I mean, if you saw it, and then I walk away.
But does it still feel awkward?
Oh, absolutely. I can think of. Okay.
Oh, here it comes.
When I was in high school, there was this girl who happened to be deaf, and she liked me, and we went on a date to the movies. I don't know if you know much about deaf people.
Well, what I do know is, from what I've been told, they cannot hear.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So maybe going to the movies was not a good date, Keegan.
No, why
know
not?
what
Because you
movie-
can still watch movies.
Absolutely. Yeah, you could. But maybe, I don't know, something else that appealed to more than just one of the senses?
Well, did she call you out on that?
No.
Because
She was very sweet.
maybe she enjoyed the movie.
It was The Hangover.
Oh, great movie. You don't even need audio for that.
I feel like you need some context for it.
I feel like it's pretty clear what's happening for
Oh.
most of that movie.
I guess if you're doing your job right, then visually you should get all the information you need. But like, there was that. That's an awkward. Like, I was just like, I felt really bad because I wasn't even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And then like, that's right. She can't hear any of this.
And you had a moment where you were like, she thinks I'm stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the worst feeling, though.
Yeah. That's. Yeah, that was a pretty awkward moment. I think that's like the one that like is kind of paramount in my mind. Like, because I never think of anything where anybody put me in an awkward situation. It's always me getting myself into awkward situations.
That's probably true for most people, though.
Because like when I think of like, oh man, I was in that awkward situation because of somebody else, I always think of like, I never look at that as like an awkward situation. I'm like, God, what a dick that person was for putting me in that situation.
Yeah.
So
More angry.
yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think of like common ones, though. The movie one's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I think about that every time I buy something from a movie. It's like I have a conversation with myself before the money transaction even happens. I'm like, all right, if he or she says, enjoy your movie, just say thank you. Just say thank you. And then you'll get through this day feeling good about yourself.
Well, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
And then I say it like that, and then I laugh because there's an inside joke between me, Jay, and Jason.
Yeah, do you want to tell that story? That might be awkward. I feel like that's a fun story.
Who listens to this show? Like, who? Like, I need to know. Like, is there anybody that will be like, well, Keegan's not getting hired, or I'm not going to talk to Keegan anymore?
Nah, there's like 20 people.
Okay.
I mean, listen, we need to be more open as people. We need to accept that we're not perfect. Come on. You don't have to tell it, but it's
I think it's a great story, and I would love to tell it, but I don't want to like.
yes,
Okay. It's
peer pressure.
all right. So me and Jason, I don't know if I should give him an alias. Me and Snake,
Yeah, Steve, maybe.
yeah, me and Steve went to a strip club. I forget why. I think he wanted to like people watch, and I'm like, okay, because it is fun to like watch people like walk up to like strippers and like just kind of like guess their story.
Yeah,
Of like why they're there.
the whole setup of
Yeah.
a strip club is interesting. Like what's happening there and why.
Yeah. But anyway, like like we were about to leave, and he's like, here's $1. Go get some boobs in your face.
$1. He gave you $1.
Yeah, $1. And I was like, all right. So I go up to the stage, and I'm like, awkwardly, here's $1. And she comes over there, and I have glasses on. So she like takes off my glasses, and I had long hair at the time. And so like she was like grabbing my hair and like putting her fingers through. And she's like, "I love your hair." I'm like, "Well, thank you." And I guess
very polite of you.
Like Jason was like really close, so he heard it and he thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And you know, she like, you know, rubs her boobs on my face and like sends me on my way. And now before this, when we were people watching, Jason saw a stripper. Like this guy walked up, give this stripper $1. The stripper like turned around, bent over, like grabbed this man by the shirt and like pulled him in, like slammed his face into her backside, let's say. I think we all know what I mean by that.
I love how you're censoring yourself.
Well, I don't want to like, I don't know, like, I feel like I shouldn't curse on your show.
You can say whatever you want because I put the explicit tag on almost every episode. Okay. Say it again and say it the right way.
She like turns over, bends over, and like grabs this guy by the shirt and pulls him in, and smacks him like right into her.
Say it.
Her anus, like just like it's like right there, like nose straight into the anus, and it does like 3 times. And Jason's watching this. Steve, Snake, whoever, it's Jason.
Steve Dave.
It's Steve Dave, and he's watching it, and he's like, "Who would like that? Nobody would like that." And so, like, after I get boobs in my face, Jason hands her $1, and she immediately turns around, and you can see on his face, like, no, grabs him by the shirt, pulls it. He's like resisting the entire time, like, smack, and I am dying. It is the funniest thing because it was a setup and a payoff.
Was he not expecting it?
No, I think it was very awkward for him.
Oh, an awkward moment, you say.
Yes.
I love it.
Oh my God. But anyway, so now, like, I think that's always forgotten because, like, the running joke is, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's funny in itself.
This is the other half of the joke.
Yeah, because it is how I say it. Like, if somebody gives me a compliment, I just say it, like, automatically. I'm not even thinking about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. But, like, it gets so exaggerated when Jason's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's been taken to another level, which I love.
It's much more exaggerated than that. But anyway, that's one of my favorite stories that involves Steve Dave. Are you going to go through and bleep it out?
I might.
Okay.
Or we can just leave it in there and see how awkward it gets. All right, well, the timer went off. I don't know if you heard that.
I did.
So that's the end of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And acting fairly normal. Not making this weird.
Thank you.
All right, come back soon. It's always great having Keegan on the show. I love talking to him. He's a good friend of mine. And I also want to thank him for giving me the idea for the episode. I believe, as we said, it's based off an awkward moment that we had after the last podcast. So I think it was great to talk about. I think it was a lot of fun, like always. So anyway, if you like this episode, please let me know. If you hated this episode, please let me know. And if you have any ideas for future episodes, like Keegan did, please let me know. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you next week.